Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're having an awesome day. I have Trey here. Wait, is that Trey?
You best
He
believe it.
is. He is here. That's good. His mic is a little whack, so I apologize if things go wrong. But it's
Is
not
it
Trey's
okay
fault.
right now?
Yeah, it's popping in and out right now, Trey.
You got to be joking.
I am not joking. I am serious. Um, and even though we don't have a good mic, let's try to do a beatbox. Oh, well, see if you can do something real quick, but not.
What about
It's no
now?
big deal. Still terrible.
Phenomenal.
So,
Check, mic 1, 2.
uh,
Go with what we got.
all right. All right. Give me a beatbox then.
Let's get it.
Okay, I'm sitting right here, looking like a silly dude, and I don't even fear. Only if I get it, cause I still can't go. I'm trying to share this to all the people on Facebook, bro. I don't even know where I'm going if I get it wrong. Now you want me to write a song looking out loud wrong? Here it is again. What am I doing, Ran? Did you know what I was gonna say and give it in? Now I divot ends and deviate the time. Looking for a process, can't understand I'm only if I can't climb high up to the sky. Wonder why I try. Ooh, sometimes it still can't be. I gotta run back down and I know it's me. Yes, sir, VOGOD. But now I gotta run it down. Now I'm thinking on me. And now I don't know go. But now you want me like this, cause I gotta say, whoa. Out of control, went out of my mind. I can't break it cause I'm wondering why. What am I doing? Yep, everybody wanna be ruining and choosing and looking for the people that be giving in dividends. All
We
right.
done.
Yep. Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you.
I don't know what's going on. I think I might have
You're fine
a
now.
cord situation, but well,
It's fine.
I'm fine now because I switched over to my headphones.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
what's everybody's highlight of the week?
Yeah. Well, let's. Hi, Eleanor. Welcome to the
Hi.
show. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
my highlight of the week is my daughter went shopping and they got attacked by the cart.
Okay,
Ooh, that's not fun.
that's tough. All right. Well, what is a easy way of saying this but keeping you guys aloof? I know a guy who's starving himself, so that's interesting.
That's
Very interesting.
Yeah.
It is.
Would like
That's
to
my
know the
highlight.
backstory on that.
I'll tell you here in a second.
All right, Eleanor, what you
Okay.
got for us?
Highlight of the week. I was doing proofing for the American Paranormal magazine that I'm going to be featured in.
Awesome. All right.
Phenomenal. Dope, sick, nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My turn. So I'm in the bathroom and I am just chilling out because I'm a dad and that's my for some reason my kids want to visit me at that time. My daughter brings in a basket, then walks back into the other room like a shopping cart, and walks back into the room. Then comes with my credit card for some reason, throws it in the basket, then takes the basket and goes into the hallway. And this is all I see. It's very hysterical and cute, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then 5 seconds later, I hear, ah! And she comes running in, and her pacifier is attached to the cart, and she is dragging the cart behind her.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And she's just crying, horribly sad, because her fun plaything has attacked her, and she now doesn't know what to do. It was very hysterical, and it was easily one of the funniest things that happened to me today. And I just thought it was hilarious that she went and found my credit card because she needed that to shop. I guess it was just like, yeah,
Aw, that's so cute.
that's how my daughter thinks. I guess so. All right, Trey, tell me about the starving person.
Yeah, so I know this guy who happens to be me. I'm starving myself, and the reason that I'm about to explain this, I am on a healthy living program where I basically eat every 2.5
Where you starve
hours.
yourself.
I don't starve myself, but I eat in increments of 2.5 hours, and so I have 2 lean and greens a day, and the snacks in between are like minuscule. So I'm not having 3 full meals; it's 2 meals and then 4 in between. So 6 things total. The 4 things in between are called fuelings, and so they all basically contain the same nutrients. But the whole premise is you're cutting carbs and you're cutting sugar because America as a whole is addicted to this thing called sugar. And it's worse than cancer, and it can cause cancer.
Yes, it can cause cancer, that's for sure. But you're going to be hangry before we know it. You know that, right?
Right. But
Luckily
I've
for
lost
us, Trey is always
15
hangry. It's normal. It's a normal thing.
Lost 15 pounds so far.
Good for you.
So I started 2 weeks ago, and I'm dropping weight. Not as fast as I want to, but we can actually tweak that to where I'm actually eating 5 and then 1 meal. But I really would just prefer the 3, but that's sadly not a part of the plan. So, but anyway, my parents are both on this, and they have lost considerable weight, and it's so cool to see them really just wanting to live healthy and eating better. So it's really cool. That's my story.
Awesome. And how about
Cool
you,
beans.
Eleanor?
About the
Tell
magazine
us
that I
more
was
about
telling
your
you about?
magazine. Yeah.
Well, they send you proof after proof after proof. And I think they send the proofs because I'm a writer who always proofs my shit, that they're wanting me to check and make sure that there are no errors. And I keep on sending them back with errors. So it's like, okay. And, it's fine. I know that more sets of eyes help to find the mistakes. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
That's amazing. It's always cool when you are featured on something that is a big deal in your group I don't know what it's called,
Your field.
your field. Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
first time I was featured on on a rap website when I was releasing records, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, I've gone and listened to music on this site. Now there's my big old face. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, that's
It
an
is.
awesome
It's really
thing.
exciting. Yeah,
So
for
excited to talk
sure.
more about it too, for sure. So
Thank
in
you.
that same vein, I have a quiz for y'all guys. It's gonna be Eleanor
Oh.
versus Trey, and
Oh.
this quiz is oh yeah, I should be producing this show. I'm not paying attention.
You
I'm
should
sorry.
be. You
I'm
should be.
sorry.
Wish me luck, people.
Let me go here. Sorry. Let me.
What he's
do it one more
trying to
time.
do is saying, it's time for a quiz. I hope you're ready, Eleanor, because I didn't prepare anything.
And you think I did, dude?
So no, it's fine. I try to.
He's saying that now, but I don't know about that.
This is an awesome quiz. This is fun facts about horror movies, and
Okay.
we'll start with question number 1, and it'll be for you, Eleanor. And it is, what was the first horror film to be nominated for Best Picture for an Oscar? Was it A?
Was it? Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm going to give
Go
you some
ahead,
options.
go ahead.
A,
You're going to give me
Multiple choice.
choices. That's good.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
A, Exorcist. B, Carrie. C, Psycho. Or D, Silence of the Lambs.
I was actually going to say C, Psycho. I was going to say that one. It could be Exorcist, but I'm going to go with Psycho.
Trey, what do you think?
Exorcist.
Oh, are you sure about the Trey?
100%.
All right. Eleanor, are you sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to still say it.
There are sometimes Trey is right. There are those times where Trey knows what he's talking about. So I'm just saying, are you sure about your answer?
Let him get it. If it's
He's trying
Exorcist,
to
we'll
help
go.
you.
I know he's trying to help me. It's
So-
Exorcist, but I still am going to go with Psycho because that was my first thought. So I know I'm wrong, but
Okay. Well, what the question was, I don't know if y'all heard it, but what was the first movie to have an actor nominated for an Oscar
that is
in
not,
a film?
That was
no,
not,
that
the
was
question.
not the question.
That was not the question.
No.
Roll the tape back. That was not the question. See, even she's saying it, Jason.
I'm trying to help you here, Eleanor.
All right, if you're
Jaime
talking
is
about
saying
an
Deadpool.
actor, it's going to be Exorcist with Linda Blair.
Yeah. No, it was Psycho. Psycho 60. And
Okay.
that was best actress was in Psycho also. Or
So what you're saying is,
Oh,
I get
really?
a point.
You mean for like those 3 minutes that she was in the movie? That's what she's
Yeah.
getting.
Or yeah.
Really?
That's why Psycho was in here, but I could be wrong. So, anyways, yes, Trey is correct. It's 1 point for
Ooh,
Trey.
let's go.
Best first horror movie ever nominated for Oscar is Exorcist. And
Wow.
and-
Okay.
All right. So the next one is Trey. This is your question.
Okay.
Who inspired 3 different Hollywood horror movies? Was
Halloween.
Was no 3 different? So not 1, 2, and 3.
No, Halloween inspired many. But keep going.
No, which real person inspired 3 different Hollywood movies? Is it A, Vad the Impaler,
Oh,
B,
interesting.
Ed Gein, or C, Ted Bundy, or D, Danny Rain? What do you think, Trey?
See, here's I thought you're going to say movies inspired other movies because I did a horror movie like
You
whole
just
thing.
gave me a hard time about changing the question. Now you're
I
going
know.
to try to change the
No,
question.
no. I was saying I thought that's what you're going to say. I will go with Ted Bundy.
All right. And what do you think, Eleanor?
I'm going to go with Vlad because of
I
Dracula.
would have said Vlad, but
Yeah, well, the movies that actually were inspired by it were Silence of the Lamb, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Psycho. And so the only real person that went through that kind of situation would be a guy named Ed Gein, or maybe Ted Bundy. So, do you want to rethink your answer? Just say B,
No.
and we'll move on.
Let's just leave it at.
Oh, come on! All right. Okay. So
this is probably the toughest quiz yet, Jason.
all right. So nobody got that one. It's still 1-0.
Really? So it's Ed Gein?
It's Ed Gein. He
Who is
inspired
that?
Psycho. He is a serial killer
Really?
from the 60s. Yeah.
Who the heck is
and,
that?
Ted Bundy.
I
Ted
didn't-
Bundy
Well, he
for
wasn't
sure.
that popular because I don't remember him. I knew Ted
Gain.
before I would even know Ed. I don't
Ed
even know who Ed
Gein?
is.
Ed Gein. Sorry.
Jen? Who's Jen?
Oh,
it's
okay,
Gein.
Ed Gein.
Sorry, guys. I don't know how to read. I'm
That's
a
what
rapper.
Jaime's saying. He said
Yeah,
Ed Gein.
well,
Jason pronounced Gein.
you really confused us because sorry,
sorry.
there's a difference.
Oh, so
between
if I said Ed
and
Gein, would you
Gein.
then say that was the right answer?
No, I would have said that. I would have said Ted Bundy.
No.
Dang it!
Jaime's
still
coming through
would've
and
said what I
saying
said.
Don Cheadle got a nomination for less than 3 minutes on screen for a 6-part Marvel series. Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Of course.
Yeah, and what's his name just get one for Nightmare Alley? Anyways.
Anyway.
So, all right. So it's 1-0. Trey is leading me of 2 more questions. And here we go. Trey, wait.
I think it's her turn.
There we go. Yeah, it's your turn, Eleanor. What's the cast of these movies use GPS trackers to find their instructions for the day? Is it A, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, B, Hostel, C, Blair Witch Project, or D, Saw?
B. Tell me the answer.
Run the question back, Jason.
Trey, what do you think here? The cast of this movie used GPS trackers to find their instructions for the day. Is it A, new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, B, Hostel, C, Blair Witch Project, or D, Saw?
You're saying the actors had GPS locations to have for their instructions for the day?
Yep.
I'll go with C.
Okay.
Oh, is that
sure?
Blair Witch Project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And Eleanor, again.
I said Hostel. I said B.
So the options are A, Blair Witch Project, B, Blair Witch Project, C, Blair Witch Project, or D, Blair Witch Project.
Let's go with Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, A, that sounds great. Both Trey and Eleanor got it correct. And great job.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
it
dead.
is
This is
two-
so
I
good.
feel so smart.
2-1. The last question, it goes to Trey. Here we go. Which is the most profitable low-budget horror movie of all time?
Ooh.
Is it A, Blair Witch Projects, B, Halloween, C, Paranormal Activity, D, oh, did I do that wrong?
You going for a fifth, or is there only 4 questions?
Oh, I have
We
5
don't
for some
know.
reason.
That's
D.
fine. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, D, Open
You're doing
Water.
the quiz.
Yeah. No, I realized that I
Open
did
water.
wrong. Yeah, it's a Jaws-inspired kind of movie, but it's real life.
Can you say them again, please?
Yeah, say it one more time.
Yeah,
I'm
A,
feeling
Blair Witch
overwhelmed.
Projects, B, Halloween, C, Paranormal Activity, or D, Open Water.
Here's the tough part. It totally could be Blair Witch, but I feel like Jason wouldn't
Yeah.
put 2 back to back. Halloween.
Okay.
You said
That's
low.
my answer too.
Low end. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fine.
Yeah, that's
So-
my
Probably
answer
wrong.
too.
interesting part about the budget for Halloween, it was it was $120,000, and it made $50 million, which is cool. That's pretty amazing. But there's another movie on this list that had a $15,000 budget. Is there any guess on what that might be?
Blair Witch Project. Blair. Witch
Blair Witch Project had a budget of $35,000. Oh no!
Say
okay,
Open
so
Water.
it's not that one.
So, one thing about this question is it leads to everything that you do and love.
Oh, Paranormal Activity.
Really?
It is that is correct. Wow, amazing. C, it actually
Really?
Paranormal Activity was made
I'm surprised about that, actually.
for $15,000. They made Paranormal Activity,
What?
and it made $193 million in the box.
Wow.
Wow,
It
that's
just
crazy.
It just beat Blair Witch Project, and
Huh.
so because
I guess they only had to use one house, so
yeah, Blair Witch Project made $273 million, but it was a lot bigger budget. So
right. Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
and so yeah, so that's what they
Interesting.
have.
That's right.
All right, so it's tied. It's Eleanor and Trey. Y'all are
Is it
tied.
though?
Yes, yes, it is tied.
You give an extra point. Cool.
And now it's your turn to here's the last question, and we'll start with Trey because he's the contender for the thing. What is my
Okay.
favorite scary movie?
You don't watch scary movies.
What is my favorite scary movie, Trey?
You don't watch scary
You
movies.
have to give me a name.
What's the monster movie you watch? It's please just help me out. Just you know what it is.
Monster Squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
all right.
yeah, I'll go with Monster Squad. It's probably
Okay.
wrong, but that's the closest.
Eleanor, what do you think my favorite scary movie of all time is? Just go with your
I'm
best
gonna
guess.
have-
You looking at my face? What do you think it is?
Say Ghostbusters.
The Blob.
How did you know The Blob is one of my favorite movies of all time?
Whatever.
Wow!
Whatever.
Just out of
No.
nowhere.
Boo.
How did she know?
Boo.
Man, stinking love The Blob.
Boo.
And you are the winner, Eleanor. Great job.
He's never
that
seen
was
The Blob.
fixed, right?
He's never seen
You
The
know
Blob.
that was fixed.
He's never seen The
that
Blob.
was fixed.
I don't know what y'all are talking about, dude. If you
Jason,
look right
what is your
behind me-
actual favorite scary movie? He doesn't even know. He doesn't.
Because he doesn't have one.
Trace is correct. I don't like scary movies.
I told you.
But But
It's almost like this quiz was rigged.
the Scream.
I told you that. That's what I said, dude.
I'm agreeing with you.
The Scream movies were good. And
Nightmare Before Christmas is his scary movie.
I mean, Monster Squad is very fun, and one of my Goonies. It's not a scary movie.
Jaime said Mamma Mia.
Oh,
Oh my god! I mean, that's one of my favorite movies, but it's
I love Mamma Mia. I don't know.
a horror
he knows
movie.
me very
so
well.
I got news for you, dude.
Well, Eleanor,
so-
congratulations. I concede. You win the quiz.
Well, she already won the quiz. One of my favorite movies is The Blob.
I mean, I know.
Because I haven't seen
understand.
it yet doesn't mean that it's not my favorite movie. I'm going to watch it after this show. And it's
In
gonna be
some
my favorite
parallel
movie.
universe, it could be where you actually like scary movies. But Jason, why is Eleanor on the show today?
Well, when I asked Eleanor what she could do for a better year, she said, "Hey, let's get involved in changing the world, but also let's explore the strange world that is Eleanor's world, which I think is an amazing thing." And Eleanor is a writer, a paranormal investigator, a podcaster, a awesome lady who loves to proof everything. It's what I learned earlier. And what is it? Why is it that? Why do we need to do all these things for a better year, Eleanor?
Why we have to do what for a better year, Jason?
I don't know anymore. I don't even know the questions anymore. Why do we need to get involved in a strange
In the
world?
paranormal.
In the paranormal,
Well, we got-
but then also we were talking about dealing with the dog meat usage and things like that.
Whoa, what?
Oh, yeah. The dog meat trade is a horrible thing, and a lot of people don't realize
Are we talking
that
overseas?
in countries around the world, they are still eating our pets, and it's horrible. They'll actually steal people's pets and put them into the meat market. I mean, never mind the poor things that are going to the meat market for whatever godforsaken reason they can think of. They're actually stealing people's pets and doing it. And so I have a passion for trying to save those animals and bring recognition to those people about what they're doing is so fucking wrong. Excuse my French. It's just not right. And we need to bring awareness to it and do something about it.
Yeah.
The Soy Dog Foundation is very involved in putting a stop to it. So if anybody wants to get involved or make donations, you can do it to the Soy Dog Foundation, SOI, and help put a stop to it.
Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah. When you mentioned it, I was like, wow. I know it's a thing. I said I'm a big fan of Vietnamese food, and I do know that in the culture that could be things. Now it's not like there's recipes that you can do that, but I know in the culture that's a thing. But it's crazy to consider, especially with us. Is like it's I don't know what that means. But it's
Jaime.
crazy. It's crazy how it goes there. But
I remember watching a show, or not a show, but there was a clip on Facebook somebody posted, and it was super graphic. And basically, there was somebody who was boiling a dog, and it was just like,
nope.
Alive, mind you, alive.
oh, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was very graphic.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, first of all, on
Horrible.
Facebook, right? I wouldn't even, well, I mean, YouTube probably you could have put on there because there's a bunch of crazy stuff on YouTube that they somehow slipped through the barrier. But yeah, I agree. I think like it's culturally, I think as Americans specifically, we will not eat cats. We're not going to eat dogs. We rarely venture out. I mean, I know alligators are a delicacy down in the bayou in Florida. And I know that
nobody has a pet alligator. Like no sane person.
Right.
has a pet
I'm
alligator.
just saying out of the ordinary cuisine. But I think the way that it's handled is obviously just wrong. So I completely agree on that front. And it's very, very scarring. Some of these videos that are out there.
Yeah, I would never watch things. The reason I don't like scary movies in general is I just don't want those kind of things in my head. And so it's the same idea with this. Like, I know it happens, and it's like, that's terrible. And then the idea that somebody's stealing somebody's favorite dog and then eating it, that's insane. That's an
Right.
insane situation. And now we're going to pivot to paranormal activity because that's way easier to talk about.
That's right.
Sandy's
And,
coming through. Hey, Sandy, how's it going?
Yeah. But what actually got you into the paranormal activity and those kind of things, Eleanor?
I've been sensitive all my life. I lived in a house with a ghost when I was a kid. I owned an antique shop that was haunted, so I've always had a sensitivity to it and a fondness for it. And then when I had written my first book, Paranormal Romance, I got distracted and sidetracked and decided to write about ghostly happenings in the community where I live, including my own. And it took off. And so Sussex County Hauntings and Other Strange Phenomena was created. Then part 2 came out. I'm working on part 3 now. And Warren County Hauntings is the one that came out last Halloween.
Yeah, go for it.
That's phenomenal. This is my world, so I listen to scary stories weekly. And there's one guy in particular that I listen to, and he's a huge YouTuber, and he drops a video every week. And I'm well engrossed into the paranormal, and I'm all about it. You probably won't be able to get me to go to any place that is haunted, but what are some of the stories that you have, specifically like your own personal stories? Because we want to hear it.
Well, my own personal story, there's really not anything spectacular about it. I mean, I was a kid, I was really young, and I lived in a home that was haunted. And because I was a child and this apparition was appearing to me nightly and scared the bejesus out of me, I was afraid, not knowing that I didn't have to be. I mean, I was a kid just afraid. And it wasn't until I had grown up, I realized that all it really wanted to do was get my attention because he knew I could see him. So, when you get older and you realize this, it's like, oh, damn, I wish I could go back there and do it all over again and let him know I'm sorry. And what is it that you want to tell me? Well, because they really just want to be acknowledged. They want you to hear what they have to say. And so I had regrets about that. But then when I owned my shop, an antique shop in town where I live now, I was being observed by a little old guy who I eventually found out was, a former proprietor, because I saw him and he would watch me and observe while I was doing inventory. He would do the same for my partner who was in business with me at the time. He would do it for the tenants that lived in the above apartment. We were all seeing the same guy. And then one time this customer came in and she had this black and white photograph and she said, "Oh, I thought you would love to have this photo and hang it up in a frame above your register." And there is the building, and standing right in front of the building is the old guy that I'm seeing all around me while I'm doing inventory. So that was kind of cool. It was almost like, I don't believe in coincidences. So I really think that he probably made that happen. But it really would have been nice if I could have gone back into the archives of history or something and find out what his name was and who he was. But I venture to guess that he was probably the proprietor of the store that was there back in the day. And he was letting me know in that way. So it was kind of cool to find that out.
Now, I do have a dumb question, by the way, so y'all can just get mad at me later. What kept you from going back to the house? Like, I assume he wasn't like, he had moved on and nobody had figured him out yet. So,
well, don't forget, I was a child at the time, and my bedroom was on this main floor, and it wasn't until I moved into the basement bedroom that I didn't see him anymore. See and not hear, I forgot about him. Eventually got married, moved out of state, and the house is no longer in the family. So there's no way I would be able to actually go back there and
wouldn't that be great?
Reconnect.
You just literally walk into somebody's house, go to the second floor. I'm just looking for a ghost. Don't worry about me. I need to do.
It hasn't. I've done it before where I've gotten a story and I've gone and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, somebody told me a story about your house being haunted. I'm curious to know if you've had any experiences."
I just helped you make your #1 hit right now. It just happened. You're going to go back, revisit that situation, and it's going to be the greatest story of all time. You're welcome. I'm silly. But no, that's I bet that's crazy when you're actually researching these things, and then you're actually because it's always interesting when you hear somebody say something, but then when you actually feel it for yourself, that's a whole different thing. Is that correct?
Oh, it's even better when something comes full circle, where you connect with the spirit, and then you start to ask questions and get answers, and then you can actually find out a name, and then actually find out who they were and what their part in that building or that location was that got them there in the first place. That's really cool.
That is cool.
That's insane. I want to hear about your books.
Yeah.
Like, So you said The Haunting of Sussex County, right? And how
Yeah.
many parts do you have so far?
Well, the Sussex County Hauntings and Other Strange Phenomena, that's the first one. That's where I live. I live in Sussex County. See?
Wow.
So it was great for me to be able to talk about my experiences and then that antique shop that I owned and tell the stories of people that live in the community. So that's how it got started. And it was only going to be one book, but the stories just kept coming in. They kept pouring in. And they were coming in from around different counties as well. So when I was writing about Sussex County, I was getting stories from people about Warren County, which eventually ended up being a book as well. That's the one that came out this past October. But
I love this
I
art
was hearing
style.
stories. Thanks. Those are pictures I've taken. Those are actual locations. Like this one right here. This is the site of the Rockport train wreck
Oh, wow.
in Warren County.
Okay.
And then this one is the interior of the captain's house in Vernon.
Okay.
And
I
then
know nothing
Sussex
about either
County,
of those.
No, you don't. But when you read the books, you'll find out. And like this one is an old Victorian that's in Vernon that's now a law office, but they're all haunted. And so where I was getting all these different stories to different counties, I started keeping folders because I said, hey, I might get enough stories that I could eventually write a book. And so where Sussex County Hauntings was supposed to be just one, I'm actually working on part 3 now. And then I added the Other Strange Phenomena category because when I was writing the first book, people were contacting me with stories about Bigfoot in High Point State Mountain, which is 5 minutes from my home.
Okay.
And UFO stories that were all really great stories. And I'm going, wow, they're not ghost stories. So I'm going to have to get them in the book somehow. And that's why
Right.
I added the Other Strange Phenomena category, which worked out great because when I was writing book 2, I was able to write stories about people that were with their loved ones at their time of death or people who get visits from their deceased loved ones, which are not necessarily ghost stories, right? And then when I was writing the Warren County Hauntings book, I was able to write about near-death experiences, which are really cool. When somebody dies
Oh,
for a couple of
yeah.
minutes and they come back, yeah, those
Those
are
are some buck
amazing
wild stories.
Yeah,
What is your favorite out of, I guess you have 3 volumes right now, right?
I
Or
do.
you're writing your 3rd? Okay.
No, I'm writing the 4th one now. I'm writing
Your
book
4th.
4.
What is your
in that
favorite
series.
story so far that you've written about? And before you answer that question, apparently
Yes.
Jaime's saying, Jason, tell Sandy Ed's last name.
Sandy Trey, Jaime's mad at me because I said Ed Gain. Ed
my
Gein
gosh.
instead of Ed Gain, and so no, I'm not going to pretend like I was saying it right, guys. It's
So one of our listeners has a true crime podcast, and she does mysteries like buck wild stuff that have happened, solved, and I think she's done some unsolved. But that's her whole podcast, and so she's probably taking offense because Jaime or Jason botched the last name, but it's okay.
He slaughtered that last name, Sandy. He really
Just like
slaughtered it.
Janice Cake.
this is one of our
Genoa.
earlier episodes, a long time ago.
Oh, this is this is where Jaime came in. He was our first baking show guest and baking guest. We talked about cooking the entire time, and we talked about that. Anyway, long story short, blah blah blah. And then apparently Jaime said something creepy just happened to him. No joke. In my basement organizing comics, I went to grab a bunch, and a fly came out of nowhere, and I dodged it. But a fly that's being unusual. I'm in my basement.
Okay.
So I'm glad you dodged the fly, Jaime. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad I didn't nail you on the forehead. But anyway,
you better watch it. Fly on the
right.
shoulder.
Right. What is your favorite story out of the 3 books that you've written so far?
There are really a lot. They really are. But probably my favorite is one that one of my team members, the paranormal lady Ghostbuster, my team, she shared before she became a lady Ghostbuster when I first interviewed her. She's a nurse and she works in a lot of assisted living care facilities with elderly. So she sees and hears a lot of things. And her story was on seeing death, both the good and the bad side of it. So that's probably my favorite story because she's seen what death looks like, and he's not anything that you would imagine. And then she's seen what the bad side of death is, like the person that gets taken down below, who comes to pick them up is pretty darn scary, to
Wow.
say the least.
I
Yeah.
love that right now. She's like, and what book is that from, and how can they pick it up to finish the story?
That's in volume 1. That's in Sussex County Hauntings and Other Strange Phenomena.
Nice.
It's the assisted living chapter. And if you want to know what death looks like, you can read that story.
I had one more quick question, Jason, for Eleanor. So, do you need it on audiobook? And if so, do you have anybody lined up?
Believe it or not, I have both. I have all of the books except for the last one on audio. And
Dang
since I
it.
became a podcaster, I understand that I can use my own equipment and I can be the narrator of my own book.
You
So
can.
this summer, I'm going to be working on doing the audiobook of myself for Warren County Hauntings and Other Strange Phenomena. Apparently, readers really like to hear the authors read their own books, and they can be very critical. And they can say,
Interesting.
"Damn, I wanted to listen to the author read that book, but she sucked." But I've been told that I'm a pretty good reader, and people like when I read, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with that. Well, kind of. It's like I love the Lemony Snicket books, and
Yeah.
in the audiobooks, the first like 5 of them are done. Or first 3 of them are done by this amazing guy. I think Tim Curry does it, and it's amazing. And then it transitions to the writer doing it, and he does a great job. But he's not Tim Curry. It's like
Sure, of course.
This is fine, but I want me some Tim Curry back. He was amazing.
Trust me,
Doing, like, 50
Jason.
voices.
If I could get Tim Curry to do my books, he'd win out over me any day.
Yeah,
I'd pick him too.
Yeah,
So this is Jaime's response. He said, "I'm in Illinois, single digit
gosh.
temps a fly. That's really weird, y'all." Here's the
He's
thing.
really focused on this.
My parents, this is crazy, but like we don't get bugs come wintertime. But for whatever reason, my parents are like, I'm not throwing them under the bus, shouting out their name. They don't even watch my show. It's fine. There's flies like in their house, and it's not like they don't take out the trash. They're not hoarders. Like it's just everywhere. And
Has anyone seen the Amityville Horror?
I have not, and I should be ashamed because I love horror
Come
movies.
on, you should be ashamed of yourself. What? You have not
need to
seen
see
that
it.
movie or read that book? All right, well, let me tell you, flies are a big deal in that book. And if you're seeing flies, you better be worried about it now.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of our listeners, True Hauntings, says, "I saw a small black shadow scurry across the front entry of my house. I'm definitely going to look for these books." Phenomenal.
Thank you. I would
There you
love to
go.
hear your stories if there's more to it. Sure.
I put her website in the comments on all of the different places.
Thank you.
So if you're looking for the books, she has a very neat and tidy website that has all the cool things that you need to know about her books and where to get them. So,
Thank you, Jason.
Oh, no problem. And now you did mention that you're now a podcaster.
I am.
And how is that going? As me and Trey are podcasters, I know it's a new thing for you. Do you enjoy doing it? Like, is it?
I
Weird to
love it. I love to talk, and I love to talk paranormal, and I love to talk strange. And I'm learning as I go. I'm sure that I've gotten better since I started, but you know how it is. You start somewhere, and then you get better as you go along. But I just love talking to people and hearing their stories, and it's just been a real eye opener with some of them, I'll tell you. But I'm really enjoying it.
That's awesome. I'm reading the comments and they're weird. So
They're weird.
As he's reading the comments,
That's why you got quiet all of a sudden.
yeah, sorry about that.
what do you find is the hardest part about podcasting for you right now?
The time. Man, it takes me 6 hours to edit one episode, because you'd be surprised how many people you talk to and they're like, and so I went to the store, and so then it happened, and
I was
and I
scared,
feel like
and so-
every second I'm trying to get the and the and the so out of the damn thing to make them sound good. But
Yeah.
that's like hours of sitting there to edit out those ands and so's, and it's enough to drive you crazy. And at the end they're like, oh wow, you made me sound so good. And I'm like, oh, thank you for stealing 6 hours, if not more, of my time to edit the damn thing.
Jason has
So, yeah,
quite a few
fine.
run-ins with editing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jason.
When
Tell
we
us your
first-
stories.
When we first started doing our show, I was doing the same thing. I was doing because we did an audio only podcast when we first started, and yeah, I was editing that for hours, and it was like, I have time, so it was fine. But at some point when we transitioned to a live stream, it just changed my looking on it. It's like you already have the video of us talking, so there's nothing I can do to make it. All I can do is ask better questions and think it through before I do it, and then try to move forward. But yeah, I'm with you. Editing. I edited a full TV show podcast where it was like the different. They had a script, and Trey was even in it, and I had to add the sounds and all that stuff. And yeah, to do the true sound thing for it, it's just difficult. But you know what? A lot of things you got to do is my best advice for you is lower your standard. And you can cut it down to 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some ahs and ahs that are fine.
Yeah, some of them you can leave. Some of them you can leave them in. I get that, but I'm talking people they say it in every sentence. It's just it's somebody that uses the word like that drives me nuts. Like it was, and it just drives me nuts. And I know you can leave a few of them in there, but there's no way I'm leaving.
Well, the other trick is to re-ask the question. Like if you notice it yourself, then say, "Hey, you said like a lot. Could we re-answer the question without it?" Because then you don't. Then you actually. I mean, because then you can
just clip
edit
that
out
whole
you
part
asking
out.
that question. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
There are ways for you to help yourself.
Sure.
It's like, yeah. Could we say that? Could you answer that one more time? And just try not to use like as much. And see how. It goes.
I'll have to try that.
And you'll find yourself, and then the other trick is to do timestamps when you're actually recording. Like write down the timestamp, so then you don't have to listen to the whole.
Know
thing
where
again.
it is.
Yeah. And so that's one faster way for your editing. Anyways, those are Jason's quick tips to editing that will cut down your editing by a lot. And
send me the bill later.
Right.
Oh, it is free. We appreciate you being on the show. But I've now said 85 times in the last.
Dang it, Jason.
Jamie says she does it live, no editing needed. I got that. And I might resort to that eventually.
So this is our friend Jaime, and he.
Jaime, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
It's fine.
It's a very common mistake.
Yes,
it's totally okay.
Jamie, anyways.
You should hear some other names he was called over the intercom. It's you can ask him that yourself. Yeah. But so yeah, I was gonna say, live is one of two things. It can be phenomenal or it can be terrible because it's live and you can't edit a live show. Possibly later for the podcast, because Jason literally all he has to do, if there's anything crazy, he'll edit it, but all he has to do is clip our audio and put it onto our podcast, which we still have as far as just audio. But no, I mean, it's tough because the 3 hours of work recording and then having 6 hours to record that to edit that 3 hour recording.
3 hours down to an hour. And we're on episode 105, and I probably was editing like that for the first 40 episodes. And so it was it was a lot. And I would tell my wife would be like, "Why are you spending so much time on this?" And I'm like, "But it needs to sound good." And the next thing I know, we just switched. But again, that's the trick about it being. It's really where you're at with your thing. But a lot of my friends that do podcasts, they're like, you got to remember that people want that casual conversation. That's why they're listening to it. So there are some things that are fine. But it's not always going to be that way. So, anyways, but that's cool. And so you actually have you're actually on a podcast network, right? Or
the Paranormal UK Radio Network. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that was kind of like something that fell into my lap when I was picking somebody's brain about the equipment to use and how to go about certain things. And he just dropped it that his network is always looking for new shows, and I was like, listen to that inner voice that you hear. And I said, so who do I pitch my idea to? And he goes,
Nice.
me, I own half the network. So I was like, oh, okay. So I just put together this whole thing and sent it to him, and he liked it. And then the next thing I knew, I was doing a podcast. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
It's nice to have people working with you instead of you just doing it all on your own.
Oh, absolutely. But I feel like in this business, we all help each other out, even for writers and authors and stuff. One hand washes the other. We all want to work together to help each other succeed. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And I love it that way.
One of my favorite places to get guests are on Podcast Nation to ask people, because it's like I like doing my other people, but I like working with podcasters. They're really awesome, and they have fun stories to tell. So is there anything else that you would like to mention that we didn't talk about?
No, I think it's all good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
great.
sounds awesome. Yeah. Trey, do you have any more questions? You asked a lot of really good questions.
Yeah, I mean, I had one. What has been the scariest experience that you or either a loved one or in one of your books?
No. I like what's the scariest experience that you've gone when researching your books? I like that as a question.
Well, with researching the books, it's turned into paranormal investigation. So I had to create a paranormal team. And then I ended up getting requests from people around the community to come to their homes or their businesses. And it's okay when you're going into a home or a business and you don't know what it is that you're going to encounter. And you do encounter ghosts that aren't that friendly because they weren't really nice in life. So they're not going to be really nice in death. But the craziest thing is when you actually meet somebody who's haunted, when a person's haunted, that's kind of creepy. Because it's like, oh, it's not your house and it's not your business. It's you that's haunted. Yeah, that's crazy.
How does that work out?
No.
Well,
I want to
know.
No,
I want to know.
I don't want this in my head. All right, go Trey.
And then how you fix it is you explain to them what's going on. And usually the best indication is if they tell you, yeah, the house that I lived in here was haunted, and then we moved to Oshkosh and the house in there was haunted, and then when we moved here, that house was haunted. That's really unusual unless you know that you're a sensitive. If you're a sensitive, then spirit is going to follow you and try and get your attention. But if the house is just haunted and all this stuff is going on, there's something going on. And so ultimately you end up finding that the person is haunted. And if you try to explain to them that this is the case, if they're receptive to hearing that news, they'll ask you, what can I do to help myself? And then you give them the information to do that. But then you do have people that are like, no, you're crazy. And it's my houses that are haunted, not me. And then there's nothing you can do about it because you've already given them what they need to help themselves. And if they don't want to help themselves, then, well, there's no helping them really.
So you saying that, I've moved countless times in my life, and I've never once had that experience. So it makes sense. And the reason I'm saying that's because like paranormal activity in any of those houses. So for someone to move somewhere else and that happened to them consecutively, someone's latched onto you. Something has latched onto you.
Yeah, and if you're sensitive to spirit and you can see them or hear them or communicate, then you know that. And everybody knows that from an early age on, that they're sensitive to spirit. So it's one or the other.
And here's the crazy thing. I very short. So I will love to share a scary story. And sadly, it's not mine. And maybe it's a good thing it's not mine, but it is my sister's. And
okay.
And I probably shared it on the show before. Maybe I was on somebody else's show. Yes, I was on Renee's show. And she does everything spooky.
Look at this one, guys.
Oh no. Never lived in a house that wasn't haunted. Yeah, I always joke about being haunted. Not I think I really am. So anyway, really quick, my sister.
If it's not affecting you emotionally, and bad things aren't happening, then it's okay. But if you're being affected by it emotionally and it's affecting the people in your houses, I mean, I've been in situations where their children tried to kill themselves. They started getting into drugs. It was somebody who was normally a very happy-go-lucky person turned into a very nasty, mean person. when it starts to affect you in a negative way like that, then you really want to do something about it.
Yes,
But
for
if it's
sure.
like giving you
1,000%.
superpowers, or everything's going well.
Oh
for
my
you,
gosh.
Because
Yeah.
of the haunting, but then somebody's like, "Oh, you're haunted. I have to get rid of the dude," and then your life goes terrible. You're like, "Dude,
Sounds
I
like
got
a
rid of Casper. He was helping me out. I had
Sounds like an
superpowers
episode of
now."
Supernatural.
That's different. That's seeing Casper around your house is different than being haunted. It's not the same thing.
So so she was in this apartment. Apparently, like people. Sorry, we've been
Sorry.
going into tangents. It's totally
to
fine. This is
Jaime.
what the
Look
show
at
is
That's
him.
about.
all right.
He's right. He's right. Because I was. Sorry, that's funny.
Apparently, I don't know if she found this beforehand or after, but people didn't live in this apartment complex long, or this place long inside the apartment
Too
complex.
long. They didn't stay in there too long.
Correct. They broke the lease, is what I'm saying.
The turnover was happening all the time. Yep. So
there was-
that's usually a sure. Or if you get something for really dirt cheap and you're like, wow, that is so cheap. Why is that so cheap?
Did someone die here?
Ding, ding, ding,
Was
ding,
there a
ding.
murder? But the thing is, she was going to the bathroom and she left the door kind of open, creaked, and it slammed shut. And her roommate was home. She's like, "Hey, I'm sorry if I left it open. I just forgot or whatever." And she's like, "I wasn't even near the bathroom. I don't know what you're talking about." So it's like she literally, like, the door had to have been slammed shut. There was no windows open, anything like that. There was no draft, so the wind suction couldn't have pulled it shut.
Right.
There's other times where they keep their jewelry, and this is years ago, but they keep their jewelry in the shell above their sink, and that would be open and closed from time to time. Meaning, like, when they would come back, it would be closed or it would be open. They always keep it open. Like, they never touch it. They only put their jewelry in there. There was one time where the shades next to their door leading out to their balcony would rattle as if like a football hit it. And again, no wind, no nothing. But the cake, the icing on the cake, and I talk about this actually. I've done a recording of this on my YouTube channel that I have not recorded for in a long time. She wakes up in the middle of the night and she sees like static at the end of her bed. It's like a figure, like a silhouette, and I'm having a hard time listening to her because I'm like, there's no way this is happening to a relative. Like, she's my blood. Like, there's no way, because like nothing has happened to me. And so she's thinking it's her roommate, so she calls out to her name, and like it's starting to crawl onto her bed, like to her. And so she calls out her name, and her roommate right next to her says, "What?" Like, it's like 2 a.m. or something. And then she looks back and it's gone. Like, it's just like, why are you guys have you not already moved out of this establishment? Like, and I can only have one answer to that
Because the
question
rent
right
is
here.
so low.
No, because they're white. No, but honestly, she's long since moved out. They broke the lease and left. But I think they were either at the end of the lease or something. But it was just like, why are you still here? But it gives a story. It was crazy.
Interesting.
Well, thanks.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's creepy.
There's several more
yeah.
happenings, but we don't have time. So
Eleanor, this is the moment where you get to plug whatever you like to plug, tell people how to find you, and all that stuff.
Wow, I'd love to hear ghost stories. I'm writing chapters about around the country and around the world. So reach out to me at author Eleanor Wagner at gmail.com. Come to my website at authoreleanorwagner.com. And you can find my books and watch videos and hear footage from investigations that I've been on. And I'd love for you to visit me at my podcast, Eleanor Wagner's Strange and Scary World, on the Paranormal UK Radio Network or wherever you get your podcasts.
ooh, nice. Apparently, you have another guest already. I'm cool with it. It fuels my own podcast. I'll be contacting you soon. We should be on each other's shows.
Oh, I would love it. Looking forward to it.
Interesting.
True Hauntings.
Phenomenal.
Thank
Well,
you.
it's that time, Trey,
What time are you talking about, Jason?
for you to stop focusing on yourself and talk about our actual guest.
You're
I
right.
don't want to hear stories about your sister.
Oh, no, that was cool. I love hearing stories. I told you, it's like
don't
around a
encourage
campfire.
him, Eleanor. Do not encourage him.
He only has that one story, so
Yeah.
Jeez, fine. I could talk about my flying rod story, but anyway, no, I think she's actually talking about. I hope you're ready, Jason. It's time for question of the day. I'm dead. I was like, no, you double clicked it. So we normally pull from our audience for a question of the day that we all answer, and we try to keep it light. We also try to keep it goofy, but keep it real.
Question of the day in 10 seconds of the comments. If you can't, we're going to go with it. Jaime.
Yeah, you guys could throw one up. I mean, we'd love to.
Question. We will use it, but
I've got one.
Trey's
but
going to give us one. Here we go.
Yeah. So from our person we've never had on the show, Mr.
We need to have
@iGreenGod on Twitter. What do you find, or what is one item that you always find in your fridge? What's one item that's always there? As in, like, you replenish it, or it's just never not been moved. Like,
that's easy. It's a chili garlic sauce.
ooh, wait a minute.
What?
Like dry?
No,
Or-
like
You make it fresh?
No. Chili garlic sauce, like the red stuff you find at the grocery store. Like, it's like a
hot sauce, red hot sauce.
No, it's chili garlic. It's like a Chinese. It's a Chinese thing. So it's
So it's
chili
close to
garlic.
sriracha.
Kind of. It's like sriracha, but for your fridge.
Oh, wait, what?
That's for your fridge.
Do you spray it
But
all
for
over
your fridge.
We have a question, by the way, guys. And
Oh, come on. I'm going to answer mine anyway. It's pickle spears.
And mine is coffee creamer, flavored coffee creamer.
Ooh, what type?
I usually buy a different one all the time, but there's vanilla, caramel, that kind of thing. I always have to have a little bit of it in there.
Nice. All right.
So Jaime does have a question for us.
We have one above that too.
Oh my. Okay, awesome. Cool. What's your favorite piece of ghost hunting equipment?
Am I going to answer that first, or?
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to come up with something because I don't.
Mine's a plasma gun. I don't know what your problem.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mine is my pendulum. My pendulum is personal to me, and it helps me to communicate with spirit and get yes and no answers to questions. So I have to say my pendulum.
Cool. Phenomenal. Mine is oh no. Jason, you go first. I'm gonna have to finagle something.
He did. He said his plasma gun.
Give me yes. Stall for me.
Oh, okay. So another one of the other questions that we got asked was, "What is your dream job? What do you think I think you already have your dream job. What do you think it is, Eleanor?"
Absolutely. Being able to write 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and go ghost hunting at night. And I don't like to use the word ghost hunting because I'm not really hunting ghosts. I'm trying to just connect with them, but it's just a play on the words. That's why I just say Lady Ghostbuster. I'm not busting any ghosts.
You're ghost dating.
I'm not busting ghosts. I'm chilling with ghosts.
Ghost chilling. Trey?
So my favorite piece of ghost hunting equipment is right here, and it's my holy water bottle filled with holy water at all times.
There you go.
I thought that's where you pee.
You're going to need that for exorcisms, not for ghosts. So.
I do what I got to do.
Demon hunter. He's a demon hunter.
Trey,
that'd be interesting.
Do you have a dream job?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the show, you know what my dream job is. It's to become a professional voice actor. So
that's why he was pitching his voices to you.
Yeah, I was trying to. I was like, hey, do you need anybody?
I don't think you did it in a cool. You got to do a better voice to really.
Hey,
win
do you
it
need
over.
anybody that could possibly offer their services for an audiobook of your choice?
It's so funny that you should say that because
spooky.
when I recorded my intro and my outro, friends of mine that were listening to it, they were like, "You should be on like a porno."
Oh God!
I was like, "What?"
Oh no!
They're like, "Yeah, I could listen to your voice over and over again."
Well, I'll tell you, we try to say PG, but I'm pretty sure if you ask for some erotic ghost stories, you can make a whole other book. I'm just saying.
Pump the brakes! I love it. It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
yeah.
Rapping probably is my dream job. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry. You know what my dream job would be?
Give us it. Tell it to us straight, Jason.
My dream job would be to I have nothing. I thought I was gonna have something cool, but I have nothing. So,
He wants to be a professional graffiti artist, but
I am not that talented at graffiti.
he wants to paint a mural
No,
on
Okay.
the Washington State Building.
these are not things that I want to do. So, but all right, now it's time for
I
us
said
to
Washington
make up a
State.
song. Yeah, I know. Make up building. This is the time where we make up a song about whatever you want. What do you want our song to be about today, Eleanor?
It can be
Your
anything-
dream job.
Oh, perfect. I was gonna say it can be anything about what we talked about, something that just popped into your head. Mm-hmm. AJ Thirst is coming through. Hey, what's up?
All right. Let's see. I am
Ghosts.
getting everything ready.
Hauntings, strange things,
Of
aliens,
course.
I
Of
got you,
course.
guys.
Ghosts and hauntings and strange things. Absolutely.
I
smelling
got y'all.
things in certain rooms when really someone just farted and left and didn't tell anybody, and it's not
That's Trey's
brimstone.
life at all times. All right, I'm ready. When y'all are ready.
I mean, I was born ready, Jason, so I hope you're ready.
Let's do this.
Oh, so Eleanor, if you had a stage name, what would it be, or do you have one for us?
Or would you like us to give you one?
Lady Ghostbuster.
Perfect.
Nice.
Phenomenal. All right, Jason, you ready to go?
I think so.
Phenomenal.
Trey, let's do this. For real. Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yo, 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 it's DJ Sound Effects, Lady Ghostbuster, and Scout the Psalmist on the mic. Let's get it. Well, you sorry, I'm having too much fun.
Yeah. Okay, one day I was just chilling like a real dude. Only if I had to get a job, I was real cool. I looked back in the newspaper, cause that's the thing people did back in the day. And only rearranged the words that they get it go. Waiting for that beat, cause I'm thinking for the flow. I looked down, they said, hey, do you know, wanna be a Ghostbuster? $5 an hour, yo. I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. I got in my car and I went down, gee, wait, I didn't have a car. I got on the bus, no, I didn't have a bus. I got on a bike, so then I rode on my bike straight to the place, looking for a ghost with it on my face, had a smile, not really sure. Then I smelled a fart, no, that was an officer. He was like, hello, sir, what are you doing here at this house? Only if you see a refrigerator, and frigidator, only if I can't say it, go. I'm like, I'm hunting ghosts, that's what they told me, yo. And here's your partner, he is a bird. I don't know why I have a partner that's a bird, that's absurd, only if I can't go, but his name is Billy, and only if I can't say Billy's looking pretty. Yes, we're walking down the little hall. I look around. What do I see, y'all? Then I see it from far away. It's not Slimer, it's more like a marshmallow thing. Anyways, I started running, I started hiding, I started going. I didn't know what I was doing if I didn't know it. And then next thing I knew, Billy was eating. I'm not even sure what was going on. I see it. Oh no, I only see it for the photo. Let go. Only if I do it, I don't know, no. But now I'm sitting here. What am I doing, bro? Was there no instructions for this job? I don't know. Yeah, they just said go to this house and Ghostbust it out, turn it out, and I was like, okay. I called up the Lady Ghostbusters and I was like, hey, come help me today. Only if I can't get it downtime. Yes, I'm getting extra jobs trying to see it mine. And Eleanor just showed up randomly. She was like, I'm gonna tell a story about this, yes, sirree, and talk about how you're a big weenie, running from all the people, never looking back and see me. And yes, I have Billy, he's right here. I saved his life, because I'm better than you, Jason. You keeping it right. And I'm like, Eleanor, thank you so much for coming to save my life, and I was running, but and then I saw it from behind me. Mickey Mouse was possessed. I never tried me, sign me. I only if I can't go. Wish I'd really prepped that ahead of time. So yo, there's a button and he jumped in the air. That'd be cool, but that's not what I did, and I wasn't standing right there. We got true hauntings saying everywhere they go is haunted only if they can't feel it on the flow. And then we got Jaime just talking. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He's straight stalking with a little fly in his nose and his eye, but he don't try only if we can't make it I. Sitting back now, we can't go through, but now I'm waiting back because I know what I do. And ooh, that's my job and that's my day. Didn't even get paid for it any other day. But guess I'm done. And that's that song. Make sure you check Eleanor's stuff out, y'all.
Woohoo!
That was great. Dude, Jason, you killed it, man. That was amazing. That was awesome. You said you said refrigerator, frigid air, something, but it was like I was like, what?
I don't frigid air.
I'm gonna have to listen. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that again.
It's not like I write this down. It's just happening as I'm doing it, so I don't know.
You did great. It was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Jaime's very excited he made the rap today.
I made it in the rap. Oh yeah.
But again, Eleanor, I'm really glad we've took the last 2 weeks off, but it's nice to come back and have you on the show and be able to just talk and be silly. And I'm really mad at myself for not thinking ahead. I could have just put a little thing here and I could have pressed a button and Mickey would have fell off the chair. Like, and I set myself up for failure. No. I set myself up for failure because we're talking all this scary stuff, and what's going to happen is Mickey's going to get possessed, and I'm going to freak out in the middle of this, and I didn't prep it.
What you should have done, excuse me.
You like those old movies where it's kind of like on one of those like invisible strings and it's moving towards you.
Oh yeah.
You know.
What you should have done is put an airbag in the chair.
Yeah. These are things I don't think about when I'm doing it.
Who has a spare airbag?
Yeah, that would have been insane. Just at some point, the Mickey just hits the camera falls down. Yeah, that would be great.
Are you saying when's the album dropping?
You know what? I keep on saying that I'm just gonna take all these 105 songs and just make them an album. But it takes a lot of editing. Well, because I'd have to go back to 105 episodes and steal the vocals out of them. So, but if anybody's interested, please tell me. I gladly will do that for $10. It's no big deal. I'll go through 100 hours of stuff to make $10. I'm cool with that. Doesn't bother me.
Money's money, right?
I know. Well, I know people that have done crazier things. So I know a guy that has released over 1 million songs. And he's one of the most streamed people in the world. So because all you do is stick it on this thing and press stream, and then you'll get all of the songs. So yeah.
Jason, talk about our sponsors.
We have sponsors?
I think so.
Oh yeah, we do. Well, make sure, guys. Actually, we're working on some commercials for. If you're looking for a new website, make sure you go to nomadweb.design. It's an amazing place for websites. They made our website at flowsforyou.com. If you're looking for really great, easy to understand and use and even edit websites, then nomadweb.design is the place to go. Also, let me go to get my other stuff ready to go. As I'm ready. Make sure you follow us on Flows For You on Facebook, Flows For You on YouTube, and flowsforyou.com are all places that you can find us. Again, if you're already on YouTube right now, make sure you like and subscribe. And make sure you press the button to not keep going on the website. Thanks, Jason. And
hit that notification bell too.
Yeah, that helps us make money, which we don't make money, but we would like that. That'd be nice. And one day. And if you're looking for us other places, please hit us up. If you want to be on the show, go to flowsforyou.com. You can go into the contact us, and you'll go right there and say, hey, put me on the show, guys. You have amazing people like Eleanor. I should be on here too. Sure, sounds good to us. And let's do it. Trey, am I forgetting stuff?
Yes. Jaime just said I'll pay you $10 to edit my wife's shows.
Oh yeah,
plural.
Yeah.
No, that's basically it. I mean, if you guys want to, we need your questions of the day. So maybe we should just do it live since no one sends it in to us. I think Jaime and who else has sent? Slayer. True Hauntings hopped in. Well, I was saying beforehand, before the show starts, we need your questions today so we can be prepped and ready to go, because we love to answer them and they're funny and we make them goofy. If you guys want to be on the show, like Jason said, hit us up. If you actually go to our website, you can actually hit us up directly through our messaging portion. But that's pretty much it, Jason. You covered everything. So,
well, and by the way, Jaime, that's fine. $10 per minute for your wife's shows. I gladly will do that for you. No problem at all. But I do love your wife, so she definitely can get I love her more than I love you, so she definitely gets discounts.
Wow.
So But you already know
Good
that. You
grief.
saw the work I did for her her videos compared to your video intros. So it's just she's cool.
Get right
Known
on
her for
me.
years. Yeah. I love both y'all. You're awesome. Anything else, Trey?
Nope.
Do you have are you doing the new bit now? I don't know if we're doing the new bit. Are we doing the new bit?
Sure, why not?
Okay. I have no idea what the new bit is, so you'd have to tell people what it is.
It's the outro, but I mean, nah. We'll just stick with what we got.
All right, Eleanor, what I want you to do is I want you to give Trey 3 random words. He's gonna make up a song for you. He is definitely not a freestyle rapper. He is a Trey, and but it is very entertaining and fun. And he's gotten way better throughout the episodes. But he will tell you he's definitely not a freestyler. But it is very funny, and you will enjoy yourself. This will be our exit. After this, we'll play the intro, the outro. Make sure you stay on and talk to us afterwards because we want to thank you. But thank you again for being on the show, and thank you so much for
Thank you for
having
having
fun
me.
with us. Yeah.
Thank you. And the 3 words: books, ghosts, and strange.
Perfect.
Nice.
Phenomenal. Let's get it. Hopefully it works the entire time because we've had it cut out on me before. If it does, que sera. Let's get in. Eleanor, you've been a phenomenal guest. Thank you so much for coming on. We love everything that we talked about tonight, your books, your podcast, and all the strange things that we love to talk about. But without further ado, I got a little rap for you. Let's get it, yeah, baby. Where do I find ghosts? I go to the library where there's a bunch of hosts over there. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna go over there to the Louisville Public Library. Pick up a book called Strange Hauntings. Just kidding. I'm gonna get Eleanor's book instead. We're gonna go find some ghosts. Hopefully they have a red head, so I can tell her about our show called Flows for You, where we talk about a little bit of everything, man. Jason is a fan. He's a big fan, like industrial sized. We're gonna keep on going though. We're about to end the show. We talked about a bunch of strange things in here, yo. But this is what we do. Flows for you, man. Yes, flows for you. Jason, take us home.
Thank you so much, guys, for this time. Thank you for spending time with us. See you next week. We will have a great guest, I hope, and I'll try my hardest to make that happen. See you next week, and y'all are amazing. Hasta la pasta. Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all of your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do.